The day I lost my job, my husband stopped looking at me the same way. Let me tell you about the woman I was before 10/17 on that Tuesday morning. My name is Mia Covington. I was 34 years old, and I was good at being invisible in the ways that mattered. Not mousy, never mousy, but the kind of good that keeps a department running while the men above me took credit. I had auburn hair I always pulled back in a clip, laugh lines that hadn't been used in a while, and a 401k that I checked too often. I was also the wife of Ben Covington, 5 years married, 7 years together total. We met at a work happy hour where he spilled a beer on my blazer and said, "Now you have a reason to talk to me." I thought he was charming. We all make mistakes. That Tuesday morning, I was still that woman, the one who believed in teamwork, the one who thought for richer or for poorer meant something. The call came at 10:17 a.m. I remember the exact minute because I had just poured my second coffee. The mug was white ceramic with a chipped rim, the one Ben gave me our first Christmas together. It said, "World's okayest accountant," which was supposed to be a joke, back when we still made jokes. My phone buzzed. HR. "Mia, can you come to the 3rd floor? Not conference room B, not Cheryl from payroll, just the 3rd floor, which was corporate speak for bringing your emotional support animal if you have one. I walked past 27 cubicles. Count them. When you know something bad is coming, your brain grabs onto stupid details like wallpaper seams and the squeak of your own shoes. 27 cubicles, 16 people typing, one man eating a tuna sandwich at 10:17 a.m., which should have been a crime. Janet from HR had the decency to look sad. That's how I knew it was bad. If she looked bored, it would have been a warning. But she looked sad, and sad meant layoff. "Mia, due to restructuring," the rest was static. A white noise machine made of words like synergy and downsizing, and we regret it. They gave me a box. They gave me a severance check that would cover 3 months of mortgage if we ate rice and beans. They gave me 30 minutes to clear my desk. I didn't cry in the building. That was my one victory. I saved the tears for the parking lot, sitting in my 2017 Honda Civic that smelled like stale coffee and the strawberry air freshener Ben said made him nauseous. I drove home, called Ben on the way. "Hey, babe," he said. His voice was warm. That was the last time it would be warm for a very long time. "I got laid off." A pause. 3 seconds. I counted. "What?" "Restructuring. My whole department. Effective immediately." Another pause. This one was longer. 5 seconds. In those 5 seconds, something shifted. I couldn't see it, but I felt it, like a door closing somewhere deep inside our house. "Okay," he said. "We'll figure it out. Come home." Come home. 4 little words that sounded like, "Come face your executioner." When I walked through the front door at 1:30 p.m., Ben was sitting at the kitchen table. He wasn't working from home that day. He'd taken a sick day because his back hurt. Funny how his back stopped hurting the moment I walked in with a cardboard box. He looked at me, and I saw it. That thing you never want to see in the eyes of someone who promised to love you for richer or for poorer. It wasn't anger. It wasn't pity. It was recalculation. Like I was a spreadsheet that had just lost its formulas. Like he was running numbers behind his pupils, subtracting my value, dividing my worth, and coming up with a remainder he didn't like. "It's okay," he said, but his eyes said, "It's really not." I put the box on the counter. I'll start looking tomorrow. Good. He stood up, walked past me without touching me, went into the living room, and turned on the TV. That night, we ate frozen pizza in silence. He didn't ask how I felt, didn't hold my hand, didn't say we're a team. He just chewed and stared at the screen, and I went to bed feeling like a ghost in my own marriage. I was 34 years old, and I had just learned that some love letters are written on napkins because napkins are easier to throw away. Week 1 was denial. I updated my resume, sent out 40 applications, got 3 automated rejections, and silence from the rest. Every morning I made Ben's coffee the way he liked it, black with 1 sugar, and kissed his cheek before he left for his job at the insurance firm. He accepted the coffee. He leaned into the kiss like a man leaning into a stranger's handshake. Week 2 was panic. The first bill came, electric, $147. I paid it from savings and felt a little piece of my security chip away. Then the internet bill, then the water bill. Then Ben mentioned, casually, that his car needed new tires. We can't afford that right now, I said. He looked at me, that same recalculating look. We can't? Or you can't? I blinked. What does that mean? Nothing. He walked away. But it wasn't nothing. It was the first crack in the dam. And by week 3, the dam broke. I overheard him on the phone with his mother. I had come home early from a failed interview. A company that wanted 5 years of experience for an entry-level salary and had the audacity to ask, "Where do you see yourself in 10 years?" as if anyone knows anything. I was taking off my coat when I heard his voice from the bedroom. "No, she's still looking, but honestly, Mom, I don't know how long I can do this." Pause. Week 1 was denial. I updated my resume, sent out 40 applications, got 3 automated rejections, and silence from the rest. Every morning I made Ben's coffee the way he liked it, black with 1 sugar, and kissed his cheek before he left for his job at the insurance firm. He accepted the coffee. He leaned into the kiss like a man leaning into a stranger's handshake. Week 2 was panic. The first bill came, electric, $147. I paid it from savings and felt a little piece of my security chip away. Then the internet bill, then the water bill. Then Ben mentioned, casually, that his car needed new tires. We can't afford that right now, I said. He looked at me, that same recalculating look. We can't? Or you can't? I blinked. What does that mean? Nothing. He walked away. But it wasn't nothing. It was the first crack in the dam. And by week 3, the dam broke. I overheard him on the phone with his mother. I had come home early from a failed interview. A company that wanted 5 years of experience for an entry-level salary and had the audacity to ask, "Where do you see yourself in 10 years?" as if anyone knows anything. I was taking off my coat when I heard his voice from the bedroom. "No, she's still looking, but honestly, Mom, I don't know how long I can do this." Pause. She had a good job. A good job. And now I'm carrying everything. Rent, groceries, her car payment. Did I tell you I'm paying her car payment now? He wasn't. I had paid it from savings, but he was telling himself he was. Pause. I know you never really liked her, but I thought she was, I don't know, ambitious. Now she just sits at home in her sweatpants. It's like living with a roommate who can't pay rent. I stood in the hallway. My hand was still inside my coat sleeve. The fabric was rough against my knuckles. I couldn't move. "Maybe," he said, and his voice dropped lower. I made a mistake. Those 5 words hit me harder than the layoff, harder than the bills, harder than anything. I didn't confront him. I put my coat back on and walked out the front door as quietly as a burglar leaving his own life. I sat in my car and cried until my eyes were raw and my throat was sandpaper. When I came back an hour later, he was watching TV. He didn't ask where I went. That was week 3. Week 4, the other woman appeared. Her name was Vanessa. I know this because Ben left his email open on the kitchen laptop. I wasn't snooping, not intentionally. I was looking for the grocery list. But the screen lit up with a message from V. Chen and the subject line, Drinks Friday. I opened it. Yes, I opened it. Don't judge me. When you're drowning, you grab anything that floats. Hey, Ben, looking forward to Friday. It's been so nice having someone to talk to at work who actually gets it. You're different from the other guys. More mature. More present. More present. He wasn't present with me, but he was present with Vanessa from accounting. I scrolled up. Their chat history went back 3 weeks, exactly as long as I'd been unemployed. Nothing explicitly physical yet. Just coffee, lunch. You're so easy to talk to. But it was the beginning. I could smell it the way you smell rain before it falls. I closed the laptop. I didn't confront him, because confronting him would mean admitting that my marriage was already over, and I wasn't ready to admit that. Not yet. Not while I still had a shred of hope that the man who once wrote me love letters on napkins was still in there somewhere. He wasn't. Week 5, he stopped coming home for dinner. Week 6, he stopped saying, I love you first. Week 7, I found a receipt for a hotel in his coat pocket. That was the week I stopped crying and started planning.
I didn't confront him about the receipt. Instead, I applied for jobs like a woman possessed. 16 applications in one night. I tailored every cover letter. Eyes up helping coworkers. I swallowed my pride and messaged people I hadn't spoken to in years. Hi, this is random, but I'm looking for work. Do you know anyone hiring? Most didn't reply. Some sent condolences disguised as encouragement. One woman, a former junior colleague, named Priya, said my new firm is looking for a senior analyst. It's a step down from what you did, but it's something. I stepped down from a job I had already lost. I took the interview. The day before the interview, Ben came home at midnight. He smelled like perfume, something floral with a vanilla base. He didn't apologize, didn't explain. Just walked past me and got in the shower. I sat on the edge of the bed. The water ran for 15 minutes. I counted. When he came out, wrapped in a towel, I said, "Who is she?" He didn't pretend to misunderstand. That's how little respect he had left for me. He just sighed like I had asked him to take out the trash. Does it matter? Yes. Her name is Vanessa. I know her name, Ben. I want to know why. He sat on the edge of the bed. Not next to me on his side, the side he had been sleeping on for 7 years. Facing away from me like I was a stranger who had wandered into his room by accident. Because when he come home, he said slowly, "Coming home to." The words landed like bullets. I used to be proud of you, Mia. You had a title. You had a future. You had drive. Now you're just. He waved a hand vaguely. Eddie, I got laid off 2 months ago. And you haven't found anything. The market is. I don't want to hear excuses. He stood up. I want to come home to a wife I can respect. He said wife, like it was a job title. like I had failed my performance review. I didn't cry. That was the miracle. Something in my chest went cold and hard, like a river freezing overnight. The tears were there, somewhere, but they couldn't reach the surface. Are you sleeping with her? A pause. Then, yes. No apology. No, I'm sorry. It just happened. Just yes, like he was confirming a fact. Yes, the sky is blue. Yes, water is wet. Yes, I am betraying you. Get out, I said. You looked at me. For a second, I thought I saw something a flicker of the man who used to rub my feet after long days. Who used to whisper you're my favorite person into my hair at 2 a.m. But it passed. Fine, he said. And he packed a bag. He was gone in 20 minutes. The door clicked shut. The house went silent. And I sat in the dark, alone. With nothing but the sound of my own heartbeat and the knowledge that my marriage had ended not with a fight. Not with a bang, but with a man who couldn't wait for me to get back on my feet. The next morning, I aced the interview. Priya's firm offered me the job that afternoon. A step down, less pay than before, but enough for rent. Enough for groceries. Enough for dignity. I took it. And I didn't tell Ben. He didn't deserve to know. 8 years later, I walked into a coffee shop on the north side of the city. It was a Tuesday, rainy, the kind of grey day that makes you want hot chocolate and a blanket. I was 42 now. My hair had more silver in it, my face had more lines. But my shoulders were straight, and my bank account was full, and I was wearing a cashmere coat that cost more than my first car. I was meeting Priya. We were partners now, Priya and Chun, financial consulting. The firm I had joined as a desperate, broken woman was now mine. I had rebuilt myself brick by brick, spreadsheet by spreadsheet, sleepless night by sleepless night. The first year after Ben left was the hardest. I lived on ramen and shame. I cried in supply closets. I almost lost the apartment twice, but I didn't call him. I didn't beg. I just worked. Year 2, I got promoted. Year 3, I paid off my car. Year 4, I stopped dreaming about him. Year 5, I started dating again, quiet. Kind architect named David who didn't recalculate my worth every time I had a bad day. Year 6, Priya made me a partner. Year 7, I bought a house, my own house, with a garden and a porch, swing and no ghosts in the bedroom. Year 8, I stopped thinking about Ben entirely. Until that Tuesday. I was ordering a latte when I heard a voice behind me. Mia. I turned. Ben looked smaller. That was my first thought. He had lost weight in a bad way, the way that says stress or sickness or both. His hair was thinning. His face was grey. He was wearing a jacket that had seen better days, and his shoes were scuffed at the toes. He looked like a man who had been recalculated by life and found wanting. Hi, he said. Wow. You look amazing. I didn't say anything. I just looked at him. I've been looking for you, he said. I know it's been a long time. I wanted to say I'm sorry for everything. For the way I treated you. For Vanessa. I sipped my latte. She left me, he said, and his voice cracked. After a year, she said I was cold. That I didn't know how to love anyone unless they were useful to me. He to me. Not because I felt sorry for him, I didn't, but because it was true. He had never loved me. He had loved the idea of me, the paycheck of me, the status of me. And when the status disappeared, so did he. I'm in a bad place, Mia, he continued. I lost my job last year. Layoffs. Ironic, right? I'm living in a studio apartment. I can barely afford. He stopped, swallowed. I was hoping maybe we could talk. Maybe we could. Oh. The word came out calm, not angry, not bitter. Tnu. I blinked. But I thought, you look like you're doing well. And I thought maybe if I apologized, we could. You didn't apologize because you're sorry, I said. You apologized because you're lonely. There's a difference. His face crumpled. For a second, I felt a flicker of pity. But only a flicker. I slept on my sister's couch for 6 months after you left, I said quietly. I ate peanut butter out of the jar because I couldn't afford bread. I went to interviews where people looked at my resume and saw a risk instead of a person. And you know what you were doing during those 6 months. He didn't answer. You were on a beach in Cancun with Vanessa. I saw the photos. Your mother posted them. He looked away. I rebuilt my life without you, I said, brick by brick. I'm proud of that. Emmy proud of me. But I didn't do it so I could be your safety net when your life fell apart. The coffee shop was quiet. The barista was pretending not to listen. The rain tapped against the window like polite applause. I'm sorry, Ben whispered. I know you are, I said, and I meant it. I believed he was sorry, but sorry wasn't enough. Sorry didn't pay for the therapy I needed. Sorry didn't unhear the words I don't want to come home to a wife I can respect. Goodbye, Ben. I turned and walked to a table by the window. Priya was already there, watching with wide eyes. Was that? She whispered. Yes. What did he want? I sat down, took another sip of my latte, looked out at the rain and the wet streets and the people hurrying past with umbrellas. Nothing I have to give, I said. And for the first time in 8 years, I didn't feel a single thing for him. Not love, not hate, not even the cold satisfaction of revenge. Just peace. The day I lost my job was the day I lost my marriage. But losing my marriage was the day I finally found myself. I'm just starting this channel, so your support would really mean a lot. Don't forget to subscribe for more stories.